I don't know if anyone's going to show up to the stream because I didn't really prepare anyone. Perhaps I should say something. I don't know if anyone's going to be here. Come stream with me. I'm going to tweet it out. I didn't really give anyone any warning that I was going to do this, so we'll see what happens. So far, no one's here. But again, I didn't give anyone any warning that I was going to do this, so. I couldn't do it yesterday because I didn't have any voice. And now I feel like I'm entering ludicrous tired zone, so. Hey, if you're on the stream, you know it, clap your hands. Hello, Element. Hello. I didn't give anybody any warning. I wasn't sure if I was going to stream anyway, so I'm going to post it on the community tab. How are you guys doing? Do you feel more or less dread now that Christmas is almost here and it's almost over? Because I feel like this pressure, like, did I give everybody enough gifts? Did I give them the right gifts? I don't know. I always worry about it. I'm going to post it on the community tab just in case. Do you guys have any stream or story requests for me to look up? Coming in hot and with nothing. You are welcome. That's my gift to you. A blank slate. Awesome. Oh yeah, you're ahead of us, aren't you, Peter? Christmas Eve day. Yeah. That just became surreal when you said that. It's Christmas Eve on the other side. You guys have any requests that you want to hear? I found, where did it go? 15 terrifying Christmas stories that will put you in a true holiday spirit this year. But it's, I think I've read this before. It's like some sort of like Christmas legends, but they're all dark. I have a warning over here. Is it not? Oh, hey. I don't do anything for Christmas. Hey, Pooh Bear. Another year, another scandal bound to happen. I read it like a dramatic princess queen. I hope that's how you meant for that to be read, because that's exactly how I read it. Another scandal bound to happen. I love it when somebody posts on TikTok their full intentions on starting crap on a holiday and their entire plan. It's great. Oh my gosh. Scary Santa stories? Let's look some up. I tried looking up true crime for Christmas too. Ready for murder under the mistletoe? How true crime shows celebrate the holidays. I don't know. That seems like the 12 Murders of Christmas. We're definitely reading that. Honey, does this put you in the holiday spirit? Yeah. Cool. 3 gruesome Christmas family murders. We're going to read that too.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Festivus for the rest of us. What was that? Scary Santa stories. Scary Santa. Dun 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 dun. I'm typing at an odd angle, so it's not going to be as easy to type. I don't even see my family. I'm sorry, Element. It's been raining all day. Ooh. I have some kind of aunt coming here. I guess she wants to make me a fresh salad. I'm confused about. You didn't say.
Forgot the word toss.
Yeah, I guess you didn't say toss your salad, so that's not what you're talking about. I'm so sorry. That's disgusting. Sorry. Sorry. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything. Let's see. How about Santa's Gone Wrong stories? Because Scary Santa Stories is basically coming up as folklore. So I'm going to look up Santa's Gone Wrong. Let's see if that comes up anything here. Christmas pictures gone wrong. I really hate that they changed the way that you live stream here, because I don't know how to share pictures with you guys now when I find weird ones, because that was fun. Darn it. How about the Wakefield massacre that happened back a day after Christmas in 2000? Hello, Gling. Hello. Merry Holiday Festivus. Centenalia. Wasn't that what we decided? We were celebrating here in Duchess Land, where I'm the queen of all, and everyone gets to eat cupcakes for breakfast if you want. Boom! And you're all millionaires. Boom! And you all get free healthcare. Boom! Free education. Boom! I love it here. And we have world peace. Boom. How do you like those tamales? Ooh, my throat is tender as I sing it. Okay, that's not coming up. But let me look up the Wakefield Massacre. That's a good one. Yeah. I don't think I ever did that on my channel either. I don't think I can remember everything I've done on my channel. Wakefield Massacre. Some sort of TV show came up when I just looked for that. Ooh. I just looked at the it's an office shooting? Oh boy. Whoa. The Wakefield Massacre attack. Okay, we're going to put that in a new tab. And then I'm just going to look up Christmas murders. We're here bringing cheer to everyone. So everyone can sleep good tonight. Too bad such a place, doesn't it? It does. Shh. Don't ruin it for us. If you just believe. If we click our horns together 3 times, spin around backwards, and then lick the closest outlet near you. Boom, you're there. Don't lick an outlet. If anyone's... I cannot be legally liable for that. No. Don't do that. If you could go into the future and live through a major historical event, what would it be? I have 2. The future or the past? If you could go into the future... I mean, we don't know what major historical event's going to happen in the future. I mean, we've already lived through quite a few of historical events. Yeah. All right. Fine. Christmas murders. Murders that took place on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Found an entire article. You guys are welcome. Whoa. Christmas killing spree still haunts in Dayton 27 years later. We'll read that one in case that one doesn't mention it. So we've got quite a few here. Let's start with the one I found first. Well, we lived through 9/11. That space shuttle exploding in the air, and a pandemic. What's another major historical event that we've been alive for or lived through that you're thinking of besides those three I just mentioned? Isn't that enough? I'm all set. The age of computers, yeah. The internet, yeah. Coke Zero. Oh my gosh. Electric cars. I feel like there's some people that are just blessed with some physical attributes that I just can't hit that kind of realm. Like, unless the Olympics is going to be like cookie eating contest, gold medal. Well, I'd probably be like the bronze. My husband would definitely get the gold. Or like, I found a really good deal, gold medal all the way. That should be an Olympic sport. That takes training and time. The family massacre that happened on Christmas 1929. We're gonna see if I found it. I found a whole list of murders that happen on Christmas or on Christmas Day. Just want to make sure I post this on Instagram because I know Cats is usually on Instagram. Excuse me. Let me see if I can just. Why do I have to do that? I'm trying to post on Instagram. I'm so sorry. Wish I could just tell Cats on Instagram. Does anybody have Cats on Instagram? I, for some reason, made it smaller. I'm just going to look her up and say we're streaming. I'm going to message her and say streaming. Mine's would be when the government discloses aliens or when humans go to Mars. How many people do you think are going to pack up and go to Mars and never come back? Like, that's their whole plan. I think that's probably like I don't think it's a conspiracy theory at all. I think it's an actual thing that they're planning, and that's why they don't really care if they're killing our current planet. But I don't want to go off on some sort of rant because I also am very sleep deprived, so I'm not going to make sense once I start going into something that I'm thinking is pretty serious. What are you doing to your leg? 300,000? Yeah. I don't think they're going to make it. I mean, let's say, best of circumstances, they figure out the entire way of creating, controlling an environment where 300,000 people can live on a planet separate from Earth. They find a way to transport there, grow food, and have some sort of society there. I think the pandemic has taught us that a lot of people are severely selfish, and I'm just waiting how long before like some sort of thing breaks out and someone just pushes someone out of their enclosed environment. I feel like it's going to be a Lord of the Flies situation if they go to Mars. Just saying. I think they're severely trying to do that, and I think that's why they give 0 Fs about stopping destroying the planet we live on. Denying science seems to be a very strong pulse going through people that are smarter than that. So I don't think it takes long to come back around to the reason why someone would blatantly ignore something that we teach children in school, that we fund, and then ignore it. So you know, I would like the moon landing. You know what's funny? You say that right there. And I've never been one to believe that we didn't go to the moon. But somebody said yesterday, they're like, how can, you're telling me, when did they go to the moon? 1967? Was that right? 69. Okay, he's like, so you're telling me that somebody went to the moon and live streamed that they're on the moon in 1969. He's like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but tell me how that makes sense. How in 1969 they could live stream from the moon. And I was just sitting there going, he's not wrong. I mean, even now you cannot get a clear picture of someone robbing a 7-Eleven. But we had clear reception from the moon? I mean, if you think about it too long, your brain might explode, because I was like, he's not wrong. Like, I've never doubted it once in my life until he said that. It's crazy. 69 LOL, someone said. It's the element. I'd like to go to 2077 and see if it would be anything like the video game. Huh. Yeah, no kidding. I'm going to grab my water before we start, because otherwise this stream will be about 20 minutes long and I'll be like, see if I don't step on my cord. I have too many cords connected to me. I have a tumbler that I completely encased in rhinestones. Water. Okay. All right. Okay. Who's ready to read some stories? Oh, yeah, of course. Exactly. Why fund, advances in technology and then ignore science? Does that make sense to anyone? Hey, Tank. Hey. Hello. You as well, Lipstick Lisa. How you doing? Tank. Last minute decision to stream because I had not much of a voice for 2 days. Not that I have a ton of it now, but I said we would try. Is that your stomach? Oh. All right, what you got? All right. I sent Kat a message. So we'll see if she gets it. All right. Let's dive into some stories. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of that. All right. The first one I found was 15 terrifying Christmas stories that will put you in true holiday spirit this year. I mean, if Krampus is your style, then yes. Oof. Yeah. Yikes. Story time, kids. It's story time. Gather around the fire. You got your cocoa. Murder. All right. Let's see. So apparently this has to do with scaring the crap out of kids is what they used to do as a, you better be good. Like, let's guilt and threaten you into behaving, or you'll be murdered in your sleep. Merry Christmas. Sleep good. Oh, man. All right. So, Perchta, which I think I did a video about this years ago. So, this Celtic goddess is a hardcore Santa Claus, and not in the fun way. She came up in the Alpine regions around the Middle Ages as sort of a traditions police. She made sure cultural taboos didn't get tabooed during the 12 days of Christmas, and especially on the 12th night, because she procrastinates like a college student and crams everything in at the last minute. Hey, I'm just reading this as it's written, and it's kind of funny. She would roam the frozen countryside and sneak into people's homes. If the children and servants of a house had behaved and worked hard all year, she might give them a small silver coin, hiding it in a shoe or pail. But if they were on the naughty list, Perchta would slit their bellies open, remove all of their guts, and stuff the body with straw and pebbles. To get this treatment, you don't have to do much. Girls who hadn't spun all of their flax or wool that year would become Christmas straw dolls. Or, even if someone ate something on their first day of feast other than the traditional foods of fish and gruel. So, everyone was up for grabs. Wow, that's quite the harsh punishment there. Dang. All right. Number 14, Santa Claus, homicide detective. Dun dun. That would have been a good one. That would be a good SNL skit.
Ho, 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 ho. Dun, dun, dun.
Santa shows up like completely exhausted on the crime scene. What do we got here? Ho ho. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So when he wasn't committing crimes such as breaking and entering, the French version of Santa Claus, St. Nicholas, was out solving crimes. His specialty? Murder. And if he was in a particularly good mood, he'd bring them back to life in a disappointingly non-zombie-like fashion. One such story begins with 3 children who got lost in the woods. Because, terrible things like this happen when children venture off into the woods. They stumble upon a butcher's house and ask for help. He invites them inside, fattens them up, and sends them to bed. Then he gets the worst host of the year award by chopping them into little pieces and sticking them in a barrel of salt for petit salés, or salty pork dish. 7 years later, St. Nicholas decides to go for a walk in the middle of nowhere and also knocks on the same butcher's door. When he's inside, he asks for petit salés, or the salty pork dish. I'm sorry, I butchered that word. The butcher, ironic, gets him something fresh. St. Nicholas gives him a look and says, "Why don't you give me the meat you prepped 7 years ago, you homicidal maniac?" Oh, I made up the last part. He was probably a lot classier about it. Then he sticks his fingers in the right barrel, and the 3 kids magically spring back to life. In some versions of this story, the butcher becomes St. Nicholas's assistant. Murdered 3 kids for me is good on a resume. Wow. That really took a turn. Hey, Laura, hey. Yeah, gross, hey? The Nutcracker. So we've all heard of this story. Some of those more cultured than myself might have gone out and seen the ballet. Cute as the dance may be, the story is rather horrifying. It starts with a young girl named Marie. She receives a nutcracker for Christmas, which her brother breaks trying to crack a particularly large nut. She patches the doll up with some ribbon from her dress until her clockmaker godfather, can properly fix it up. That night, while everyone's asleep, Marie sneaks back downstairs to be with the nutcracker. But as the clock strikes midnight, things go from mildly creepy doll obsession to full-blown horror movie. Rats pile into the house from seemingly nowhere. led by the 7-headed Mouse King. Let me repeat that, 7 heads. So I guess they've altered the story severely from when they have a cute little ballet on stage anyway. Marie finds herself magically shrunk to a mouse's size, but luckily for her, all the other dolls, many of them toy soldiers, spring to life also and start battling the rats. They're led by none other than the Nutcracker. It doesn't go too well for the dolls until Marie takes off her slipper and chucks it at the Mouse King, distracting him long enough for the Nutcracker to kill him. Marie passes out, and when she wakes up normal-sized, the room is a mess, and there are 7 tiny crowns scattered around her. Years later, Marie professes her love for the Nutcracker, and that night finds herself doll-sized again. This time, it's permanent, and she spends the rest of her days living with the Nutcracker. Aww, what a weird love story that was. Me too. Me too. It was cool. Number 12. Christmas. Wait, did that skip one? No, I guess not. Christmas tree decorations. So, what's Christmas without a little murder or muck duck? A girl named Juliet is home alone, and she lives with her single mother, who is a nurse taking the night shift. Juliet just finished decorating the Christmas tree when there's a scratching at the door to their apartment. When she looks through the peephole, she sees a man dressed in a dirty Santa Claus suit. "It's Santa Claus," she says. Juliet was only 11, but she's not an idiot. She refused to open the door and threatened to call the police when he didn't leave. His solution to this dilemma? An axe. Juliet hides in the closet while he busts down the door, and when he finds her, she manages to stab him in the eye with a coat hanger, and it all goes downhill from there. Juliet's mom finally manages to come home around midnight. She finds the door busted open and the Christmas tree decorated with bits of Juliet. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, these are severely dark. Basically, all these stories are meant to terrify the crap out of kids so that they do everything that you tell them to. Changed my mind. I was making office memes before I came on the live stream, so sarcasm is heavy with me right now. Greek goblins. Might have to go to another one. I don't know. Do you guys like these, or are these ridiculous? Let me see if I can change this right here. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. I'm going to move on to another one. It seems like I've put everybody asleep in the chat. Christmas werewolves. No, never mind. I got to read this one. Yeah, they're not that great. I just want to read this one because I've never heard of Christmas werewolves. Raise your hand if you've heard of a Christmas werewolf. No? Okay. The Prikoliki are Romanian werewolves of ancient lore, and they love Christmas. They're like dogs who adore winter because they get to roll around in the snow. When they're not killing people, that is. But the Prikoliki werewolves are unique in that they don't reproduce by biting their victims. They're the hairy, reanimated corpses of evil men who've committed violent crimes and who just can't seem to get enough of that bloodletting. And if that's not bad enough, they won't stay dead. After Prikoliki dies, it comes back again, and this time as a vampire. There are times to charm and all that. Werewolf activity is said to increase during the Christmas season. Makes sense, seeing as wolves are social animals. They gotta check in on grandma, visit the in-laws, count up how many humans they killed this year, set the new goal for next year. Oh my god. Alright, we're moving on from that. Garbage list of stories. Yeah. Ooh, the 12 murders of Christmas. That's what we're on now. Lichen claws. Brilliant. You get the Princess Unicorn Christmas Award of 2021. You are welcome. Lichen claws. I might draw that up. I might make a thing like that on Canva after this. Hey, Merry Christmas. Well, you can see I lost my voice a couple days ago, so it is what it is at this point. So I might sound like this the whole time, and that's what it is. That's what it's going to be. We're going to read the 12 Murders of Christmas. First up, a grim gift left under the Christmas tree. Hold on to your butts. When 37-year-old Patty White offered down-on-her-luck Michelle O'Dowd a place to stay over the festive period, Michelle was delighted at the Christmas spirit being shown to her. But White had an ulterior motive, one involving stealing all of her new housemates' credit cards, killing her, and leaving her among a trashed Christmas tree to look like a bungled burglary. The scene was discovered by Michelle's twin brother Phil, who went to check in on her after she failed to show for work. There, amongst a pile of wrapped Christmas presents, he saw his sister's foot. Patty White had been beaten and strangled. The 67-year-old. Patty White had beaten and strangled the 67-year-old and left her among the gifts. She would receive a 45-year sentence from a South Carolina judge for that crime. Wow. Have you guys heard of that one before? Hey, Zena, hey. I wasn't sure if anyone would show up because I didn't give a lot of warning. I wasn't sure if I was going to live stream. So we'll see how long my voice lasts. Sorry in advance for your ears. Number 2 is a couple stab a man in face, bash in his skull, and set light to him on Christmas Day in Kill Bill plot. Well, I feel like Christmas came early. Just kidding. What does it say? Wily Pac-Man. No. What's no? Oh my goodness. This one's taking place in Victoria, Australia. Christmas Day 2013, but instead of spending the day with his loved ones, William Bill Stevenson pays the ultimate price for keeping poor company as his friends. Meth addicts Danielle Kerr, and Darren Lewis kill him in one of the most violent ways conceivable. Their motives not entirely clear. The pair drove Stevenson out to bushland and began beating him about the head with a large rock. Kerr then stabbed the man to death while cackling about their Kill Bill plans. The couple then set the car on fire and casually just walked home. Thankfully, they were both arrested, charged, and convicted soon afterwards. How do they know? Did they confess that they were talking? Like, did they say, ha ha ha, we're going to do a Kill Bill thing? Is that how they confessed to it? That seems even crazier than even saying that in the moment, is reliving it and then retelling it. Reread murder here. Muktuk. Anyways, if anybody gets that, you get extra Christmas points for that. Anyway. Number 3, marvelous teen gang indulge in sickening festive killing spree. There were 4 of them, and they called themselves the Downtown Posse. Wow. I bet they thought that was really cool at the time. We're part of the Downtown Posse. I feel like there's someone who would think they're really good at rap and then they go on like, what's that music auditioning show? Where it's really funny when they do the auditions because they're bad. Everyone's always told me I'm a great singer, and they're like, huh. They're really bad. American Idol, yeah. Anyway, to the police and courts, though, they were simply Laura Taylor, 16, DeMarcus Smith, 17, Heather Matthews, 20, and Marvelous Keen, 19. Between Christmas Eve and Boxing Day in 1992, the gang went on a murder spree in Dayton, Ohio, that would see 5 innocent people die and 4 seriously injured, murdered for not liking a gift enough. Led by Keen, the gang's primary motive was robbery. But things soon got out of hand as Marvelous Keens grew paranoid about snitches and effectively turned the holiday season into hunting season. For his central role in the Christmas killings, Keen would go on to become the 10,000th American convict to be executed since the death penalty was reinstated back in 1976, while his cohorts would receive life sentences. Oh, I haven't heard of that one before, I don't think. Searching for missing Bristol woman turns to hunt for her killer. You guys are going to have to let me know if you've heard of any of these as I'm going down the list. Joanna Yeats' disappearance a week before Christmas in 2010 made local news in Bristol almost immediately. Soon the search and appeal broadened, and her whereabouts were of national interest. On Christmas Day, her body was found in the snow 3 miles from her home. The case achieved notoriety from the media's handling of the first suspect, Joanna's eccentric landlord, Christopher Jeffries. Hounded and effectively labeled the murderer without proof, UK tabloids, The Mirror and The Sun, were later found guilty of contempt of court for their poor coverage. Jeffries was later vindicated when Miss Yeats' Dutch neighbor Vincent Tebeck was arrested and charged with her murder. That's weird. All right. The infamous child beauty queen murder that's still... Okay, I'm going to skip JonBenet Ramsey. I think it's been highly debated, and it's come to the conclusion that everyone thinks that it was the brother, but then the parents covered it up. That's weird. I had never heard of that one before. Edinburgh woman stabs neighbor 29 times over Christmas present dispute. So, murdered for not liking a gift enough? Well, that was the excuse that 37-year-old Melissa Young gave police when she was arrested for the brutal killing of her next-door neighbor, Alan Williamson, on Christmas Day, 2013. Young later claimed diminished responsibility and that mental health issues were behind the sustained attack. You know what? If you're claiming insanity for the attack, like murder of someone, you definitely should be locked behind bars. That makes you, I don't know, anyway. Where I got lost in it. At the time, though, her motive was given as rage due to Williamson dismissively rejecting her Christmas present of a pair of unisex trainers and a copy of the Sun's newspaper's slightly raunchy 2014 calendar. Young pleaded guilty to culpable homicide in 2014 and was sentenced to a minimum 20-year sentence. Since being jailed at the women's prison in HMP Corton Vale in Stirling, she has seriously assaulted 2 female prison officers. I mean, she is clearly unhinged. I don't know. I don't want to trail off into like prisoner reform or how they should be like actually helping someone re-enter society. Anyway. So sorry if you can hear me drinking the water, but it's super necessary. Number 7, A Christmas Rampage. December 28th. 1987. Ronald Gene Simmons walked into a law firm in Russellville, Arkansas, and shot dead a receptionist who he was infatuated with, but who had spurned his advances. Then he went into the office of an oil company and shot 2 executives, killing one and injuring the other. He then drove to a convenience store and former place of work and shot 2 more people, who would both survive. Finally, he would do the same with the Woodline Motor Freight Company, shooting and wounding a woman. He then sat down and waited for the police to arrest him. The spree killing rocked the state, but the murders were merely a bookend to Simmons' evil festive period. 6 days previously, he had shot and strangled his wife, 2 sons, and 4 daughters. And it doesn't end there. Simmons then sat in the house among the bodies for 4 days, leaving only to visit a local bar. On Boxing Day, 9 more relatives turned up to visit Simmons' family home, including Ronald Simmons' grandchildren. All were killed. In total, he took 16 people's lives that Christmas. On the 25th of June, 1990, then Arkansas Governor Bill Clinton signed Simmons' execution warrant, and he was killed by lethal injection. I don't understand how someone is just a family person that all of a sudden kills them all. 16? Oh my God. Great grandma's in the house. Someone killing a person due to not liking him present is an example of how doomed the society is. No kidding. We live in a society. Woo! I'm now not driving and can chat. Yay! Mike, do you want to read a story? Oh, this one's, let's see. 8 was like 1 sentence, so I'm going to skip that. 9 is the first and last family photograph the Lawsons would ever have taken. North Carolina tobacco farmer Charles Davis Lawson made his wife Fanny and their 7 children put on their Sunday best for Christmas Day morning, 1929. Someone requested this. They were to go into town and have a professional family photograph taken. A rare treat for such a poor family. Later that day, after settling back home, Charles would set about methodically beating and shooting his wife, along with 6 of the 7 children, until they were dead. The child spared, the Lawsons' eldest, 16-year-old Arthur, who Charles had sent on a needless errand before his vicious massacre. Charles Lawson's motive was never determined. Oh. Well, at least you guys can't catch it through the microphone, eh? I know a case where a guy was killed over Thanksgiving food. Oh my gosh.
Eat all the damn sweet potatoes.
My sandwich. My sister puts a piece of gravy-soaked bread in the middle. It's called a moist maker. You threw it in the garbage. I don't know if anybody got that, but yeah. Anyway, number 10, a murder so sick and twisted it would even disgust Halloween. So Christy Bamu was 15 when he was tortured and drowned in a bath by his own sister, Magali, and her twisted boyfriend, Eric. It was Christmas Day 2010 when the couple finally killed poor Christy, after sustained a brutal 4-day torture session at their flat in Newham, London. When his body was found, there were more than 130 separate injuries counted. The 20-somethings Congolese couple's excuse? They believed Magali's younger brother was a witch. Eric was ordered to serve at least 30 years in prison, while Magali received a minimum of 25 for the unimaginably horrific killing. Oh, disgusting. Oh, really? I didn't know that last detail. So I'm pretty sure now that I think I did a series of stories and the Lawsons was interjected into a video, but I think it's from like 2017. But I've never heard that part where he thought the sun would stop him. But that makes sense. Somebody should have stopped him, but I guess, what are you gonna do? Let's see here. Number 11, sorry. Stagger Lee and the Seasonal Showdown. Lee Shelton was a known criminal and pimp who went by the nickname Stagger Lee. Famous now because of the folk song he would inspire, Shelton wasn't a man to be trifled with, as William Billy Lyons would discover to his cost. This murder took place on Christmas night, 1895, in St. Louis, Missouri. Stagger and Billy were drinking and playing cards together in the Bill Curtis Saloon when, wouldn't you know it, they got into a dispute. Lyons snatched Stagger's Stetson hat, and, well, you've seen westerns. Stagger Lee drew his gun, shot Lyons dead, and the rest is history. Okay. This only goes up to 12. I thought this was 15 stories. Didn't it say that? Maybe that was another one. Oh, no, it's 12. All right, so we're on 12 for this one. But I have like 4 more tabs open, so we're good. Sorry, I'm reading the chat for a second. Okay. Number 12 is the Santa Suit Slaughter. Excuse me. It was Christmas Eve of 2004 in the small city of Covina, just outside of LA. Parties dominated the neighborhood. 1129 East Knollcrest Drive had around 25 close friends and family enjoying each other's company. At around 11:30 p.m., a knock came at the door. Standing on the other side of the door? Santa Claus. At least that's what the 8-year-old girl who answered the door thought. But it wasn't St. Nick. It was a man called Bruce Jeffrey Pardo, the unstable and violent ex-husband of one of the women at the party. He was holding a 9mm pistol in one hand and a flamethrower in the other. He had a further 3 handguns in his possession. Cruelly and methodically, he went about shooting everyone in his sight. Before setting a light to the house, 9 people would die and 3 would be badly injured. Pardo left, driving to his brother's house some 30 miles away. He had planned to detonate a series of handmade explosives and then make his escape to Canada. But the fire had caused his Santa suit to melt onto him, causing severe 3rd-degree burns. So instead, he decided to put a bullet in his head. Oh, and then it had some sort of disgusting rhyme at the end. There we go. Gross. I know I've heard that one before. I think you guys probably have too. I gotta have a drink of water. I'm sorry. While I'm pausing, are you guys all done Christmas shopping? Those who celebrate Christmas and shop for others. Let's see. The Covina Massacre, the Dallas Christmas Killings, and the Lost and Family Murders. So we'll skip the last one, but we'll read the 2 other ones above it. So the Covina Massacre. Covina, a Los Angeles suburb, was a grisly scene on Christmas Eve, 2008. Oh no, that's the one we just read of Jeffrey Pardo. What about the Dallas Christmas Killing? Another killer, Santa Aziz. Oh no, I'm gonna butcher this last name. Yazdanpana, who donned the festive red and white outfit in anticipation of his rampage on December 25th, 2011. He entered his estranged wife's Dallas, Texas home and began shooting the family. They had just finished unwrapping presents. All in all, he murdered 6 people, including his wife and 2 children, before killing himself. The victims and The victims and 2 handguns were discovered in the kitchen and living room, with presents and wrapping paper littering the floor. He had been dealing with financial and marital issues, which detectives believe contributed to his mindset before the murder-suicide. Like the Covina case, it's likely the suicide was last-minute decision when the killer found himself overwhelmed. The crime scene showed attempts by him to frame his brother-in-law by placing one of the guns in his hand. According to Carr, people who commit violent acts during the holidays are often consumed by feelings of rejection, usually by a love interest or former lover, or even just someone they've been flirtatious with. Typically, they targeted their victims specifically, and their violence is a direct expression of their frustration, anger, hate, or rage toward the person. These attackers are often fixated on the fantasy of holidays being synonymous with love, family, and fun. So, of course, they murder them all. Yeah. They believe their intended victim to be the reason they're suffering and deprived of an ideal holiday. Actually, it's your cuckoo banana brain that's doing that to you and then ruins everyone else's lives. So, way to go, selfish assholes. Oh. Well, we're glad you're doing better now, Zena. I heard that last story on Scary Animated. The Pardo one. Huh. Do we read the Sauter family? I'm gonna have to read it and see. This is one of the more suspicious death case. So there's another article and it's got the I don't know why the JonBenet Ramseys are on there. I don't know. We're gonna read this one and see. The Sauter family murders. Did we read that already? This one is more of a suspicious death case than a cut and dry murder. On Christmas Eve, 1945, a fire ripped through the home of George and Jenny Sauter and their family in the city of Fayetteville, West Virginia. 4 of the 6 children survived, but the bodies of the other 5 children have never been found. So did they really die? George was a critic of Benito Mussolini and the fascist government of Italy, and one conspiracy theorist suggests the mafia took the children. Their parents never gave up hope that the kids had survived, and even put up a billboard offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the recovery of any of them. George and Jenny died still believing their children could be alive. Oh, this is weird. This one's titled A Star Wars Connection. Sorry, more water. David and Roger Cooper plotted to poison Samina Imam in 2014 through text messages coded with Star Wars phrases. She was having an affair with Roger, and although she believed that by 2015 they would be together publicly, he didn't want his wife to know about their relationship. The brothers decided to kill Imam and spent months planning the murder. They first attempted to have Dave abduct her on December 12th, exchanging messages like Death Star complete and stay on target, your expected Vader. But the plan failed. Then on Christmas Eve 2014, Roger and Imam arrived at David's home in Leicester, and David smothered her with a rag soaked in chloroform. David disposed of the woman's body just hours after her death, after police were informed she was missing following Boxing Day. Her car was found miles away from where her body was found on January 4, 2015. Finally, after a tip from the public, her body was found, and the brothers were arrested on suspicion of murder on January 7, 2014. On October 21, 2015, Roger and David were both found guilty of murder and sentenced to 30 years behind bars, respectively. Wow, I've never heard of that one. The Covina one, we're just going to skip that too. There was one about a fire on Christmas night, and I think some of the kids died and some went missing, something like that. Let's see here. The Christmas killings from December 24th to December 26, 1992, 6 people were killed and 2 injured in one of the worst killing sprees in Dayton, Ohio. Okay, we already read that. There's John Bonet again. And then tragedy in Atkins. In December of 2020, Pope County Sheriff Shane Jones released his statement after an investigation near Atkins, Arkansas, involving 5 deaths was determined to be a case of murder-suicide. The youngest deceased was a 7-year-old girl named Danielle Collins. Among those individuals found in the home was Levina Countryman 10, Abigail Heflin 12, Chiquita Case 31, and Patricia Patrick 61. While all loss of life is heartbreaking, this situation has been particularly tragic. Anytime children are senselessly taken from those who love them, the pain is beyond compare. When you add to that the loss of the adults involved, the pain is unfathomable. I think I did read that one in this. I don't know if you can hear me with my voice. I don't know. Does the story cut out because my voice is half there? Man. Is it hurting your ears? It seems like the same. The Wakefield Massacre. Isn't this the one we're talking about? Oh no, this is the one we're talking about, but we didn't read it yet. Okay, so this is quite an extensive story, so I'm not sure if you want me to go into it. Oh, never mind, it's okay. Christmas killing sprees. Hold on, I'm just gonna look up. Usually I try to get something funny into the stream too. Like Christmas criminals or something like that. Alright, so the Wakefield Massacre. With anti-gun vitriol being so common after any active shooter event, and so many uneducated people talking about guns, it's almost predictable occurrence that we'll hear about how an AK-47 was used in any given attack. In actuality, the attack that occurred in Wakefield did involve the use of an AK-47, and it apparently got so little news coverage that few remember it happened. Of course, that statement doesn't apply to those family members and friends who lost someone in the attack. On December 26, 2000, Michael McDermott went to work like any other day at about 9 o'clock in Wakefield, Massachusetts. He was employed at Edgewater Technology as an application support employee. Reportedly, at about 11 a.m., he was seen in the lobby area of the business carrying the weapons he had with him: an AK-47, a pump-action 12-gauge shotgun, and a .32 caliber semi-automatic pistol. When asked where he was going with the weaponry, he allegedly replied that he had to see some people in human resources. It was reportedly at this reception desk where McDermott shot his first victim, Janice Haggerty, who was filling in for the receptionist that day. Also at the reception desk, he shot Cheryl Troy, Edgewater Technology Vice President of Human Resources. Oh my goodness, this goes on. I need water. I don't know if you can hear my husband fall asleep on the couch and is now loudly snoring. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Anyway, from there, McDermott moved through the company, shooting employees as he went. He reportedly shot some in the legs before shooting them in the head, and shot others repeatedly in the head, either from front or back. McDermott worked his way toward the accounting section of the company, where several employees had locked the door in an attempt to secure the room and keep McDermott out. He reportedly shot the lock out to gain entry and shoot 2 employees therein. All total, McDermott shot approximately 37 rounds of ammunition over a period estimated between 5 and 8 minutes, killing 7 of his fellow employees. There were a reported 80 employees in the building when McDermott went on his rampage, and after he stopped shooting, no one could explain why. The victims ranged in age from 29 to 58, 4 women and 3 men. When the police arrived in response to the numerous 911 calls they received, McDermott was sitting in the reception area with his long guns on the floor on either side of him and the loaded pistol in his pocket unfired. Upon first contact from the police, McDermott assumed a demeanor apparently intended to support an insanity defense when his charges would go to trial. Michael McDermott was born September 4, 1958 in Marshfield, Massachusetts, and raised at least through his high school years there. After graduating from high school, enlisted in the Navy where he served 6 years before being honorably discharged in '82. After getting out of the Navy, McDermott worked at various companies in related electronic fields. He didn't jump from job to job, holding one position at least 6 years and another for at least 8. Got married in '92, separated in '96, and divorced in '97. Very little in his background indicated he was capable of the violence he demonstrated in the technology attack. Although one service mate remembered him accidentally cutting someone with a knife once. I would love to know how he accidentally did that. I got a 12-gauge semi-automatic shotgun. Well, as long as you don't go around shooting other people with it, you should be alright. Given that McDermott did his best to support an insanity defense from the first moments he was contacted by the police, little is known about his motivation for the attack. In the months prior to the attack, he allegedly was remiss in paying his rent, and his personal appearance became quite disheveled. There was some speculation that his anger toward Edgewater Technologies' HR department stemmed from a pending garnishment of his wages based on action from the IRS. During the search of his apartment in the post-event investigation, an additional weapon was found, a bolt-action hunting rifle obviously not used in the attack. Police also found materials that could have been used for making improvised explosives. Immediately after the event and then during the trial, McDermott claimed at various times to be a time traveler sent back in time to kill Hitler and several of his minions. He said this was an action he was ordered to perform by the Archangel Saint Michael to stop the Holocaust. He claimed or believed that his action would earn him a soul, that he was German, and that he died after committing the attack. He made statements to the effect that he was now in purgatory, waiting to be deemed worthy of entry into heaven. Oh my goodness. I can't tell if he's actually insane. Yeah, you have to be insane. Even if he was doing things purposely to be deemed insane, his actions and his total demeanor and mindset, definitely insane. I think you can be clinically insane and also methodical. I think that's what is deemed the term criminally insane. But, I'm not a doctor. I just pretend to be one when I feel like the mood strikes me. Anyway, unfortunately, with some events, there's simply nothing law enforcement could do different or any better. Response time almost always depends on how fast the call is received, dispatched, and then the realities of the physics which control how fast the officer can get there. While the reports say McDermott's attack lasted between 5 and 8 minutes, and to those in the building seems a lot longer, it seems to be about the average for a shooting attack. 6 or 7 minutes is a time frame we see all too often as the perpetrators either stop their attack, attempt to escape, or are enraged by the police, or commit suicide rather than being engaged by the police. In this instance where potential victims are concerned, it's demonstrated that locking yourself in a room may not actually equate to security. McDermott used his shotgun to blast open the door to the accounting office with several employees that had taken refuge there, and wherein he murdered 2 of them. This example needs to be remembered anytime we're teaching people about secure rooms, protected areas. A lock isn't enough to keep an attacker out. Yeah, no, definitely. Anytime you have a way to get out of a room, that's what you need to do. I mean, if I'm going to be a target, I'm not going to be a sitting target. For sure. Never. You know what's weird is, I think we've talked about this before, but like, when you see an accident happen, or you're in a store and you hear like something happening, like a fight or a traumatic event, what is your first natural reaction? Because mine is instantly, I go right toward it. I'm not even thinking if that's the right thing to do. I instantly go right toward it. I don't know why. I'm wondering how many of you guys are the same way. We have 5 people here now because no one can hear me because I don't have a voice. Oh, that's nice, Cena. I don't think we're going to stream much longer because I don't have much of a voice for you guys. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up. But I have this other list for you. I'll read through really quickly if anyone's still here and wants to listen. They want their safe space, yet too safe is actually unsafe. Yeah, I know. Oh, let's end on let's at least end it on an appropriate note. If you're gonna pull out your phone, throw it at the person, or throw it like on the other side to distract them away from their current area. You know what I mean? Get your phone out. If everybody got their phone out and whipped it at the person, if there's one person in the room with a gun and there's 30 of you in the room, all 30 of you are going to be scared of that one person? Especially when you've got desks in there, chairs in there, books in there. I'm going to get shot. Let's just face the facts. I'm going to get shot. But at least I'm going to try and make sure that everybody else doesn't get shot. I can't sit there and be scared. I just can't do it. Remember, I was going to stream like every night. And by the end of it, I was like, oh, I think I'm losing my voice. And then I literally lost my voice. I woke up and I was like, I lost my voice to my husband in the morning. My throat is really sore today. It wasn't sore like the last 2 days, but it's sore tonight. I don't know. I used to lose my voice once a year for a week during, like, I think I talked about that, like, when the seasons would change in the fall. So I don't know. I didn't miss when it didn't happen. I don't love it. Let's see here. We've got the 10 most outrageous Christmas crimes of recent memory. So we're going to go through this and then we'll wrap it up. Okay? Because I don't think I can take much more. I just didn't want to let you guys down. He wanted a remote control airplane. She gave him a Nintendo Wii. It didn't go well. Let's go back to Christmas in 2009, when a Portsmouth, New Hampshire couple had, in their own words, a bad Christmas. Randy Young gave Heath Bloom a Nintendo Wii for Christmas. He wanted a remote airplane instead. His girlfriend was not pleased with his response and got up to leave, but Bloom grabbed her by the hair. Young wasn't having it. She turned around and hit him. We just had a bad Christmas, they said. That was putting it lightly. Both of them ended up with bruises and charged with misdemeanor assault. The judge was not pleased and actually ordered Young to get a job within 21 days. The judge also ordered Young to provide proof that she was sending out applications. I don't know why that was part of the thing there, but it sounds like I'm sad and crying. No, I have a smile on my face. Ho, ho, ho. That did sound kind of sad. I'm sorry. If anyone's tuning in, I lost my voice. So anyway, this one's titled "An Intruder Decorates Home for Christmas." It was a pretty unnerving event in 2011 when a boy, who was 11, spotted a 44-year-old burglar stranger in his Ohio home. Terry Trent, described high on bath salts, broke into a house, but he didn't mean any harm. What he actually did was put up Christmas decorations and lounge around. He lit candles, hung a wreath on the garage door, then kicked back and watched some TV with the volume turned up really loud. No one disclosed what he was watching, but we're just going to hazard a guess that it was Christmas themed. The 11-year-old boy saw what Trent was doing around the house and called his mom, who was actually next door at the time. Trent was described as polite and said to the child, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I'll get my things and go." Try cough drops. At least the cough drops will probably help my throat feel better, but it won't bring my voice back, unfortunately. So I don't know if my family will be upset or happy that I don't have a voice tomorrow. Oh, you guys are all like, "Oh my god. I just didn't want to let you guys down." I did drink tea, Peter. Yeah, I did. Last time this lasted a week. So, unfortunately. I'm gonna make some when I get off of here too. Just to at least it helps it feel better. It doesn't really bring my voice back, but it really does feel really good on the throat. I'll just read you this last one and then we'll call it quits. I just didn't want to not come back on and say anything to you guys because I really want you guys to have a good Christmas. Oh, you're so sweet. I love you guys too. I miss you guys when I don't get on here talk. I wish live streams were able to be more interactive. Like, you know, like a Zoom call. Just drink more tea. Just tea. I need to put Vicks on my throat. You know who never came was cats. I sent her a message though. I'm gonna read this last one and then we'll oh no, two more because one's about a squirrel. This one says Mall Santa allegedly groped an 18-year-old elf. Massachusetts Mall Santa Herbert Jones was banned in 2013 after he allegedly groped an 18-year-old woman dressed as an elf. The two of them were working at a photo booth together when Jones allegedly pinched her buttocks and made suggestive comments. Ew. Okay, I'm going to skip that one. This last one says she stabbed her man with a ceramic squirrel. Now, I thought that was a good one to go out on because squirrel. In 2013, a 44-year-old North Charleston, South Carolina woman was not about to let the holidays pass without stocking up on brewskis. Helen Williams unleashed her wrath on her husband when he came back home without any beer. Williams allegedly beat and stabbed him with a ceramic squirrel because stores were closed on Christmas Eve, meaning that there would be no beer to guzzle. The victim was found on the floor covered in blood, and Williams apparently explained that he fell. The sheriff's office wanted to know why Williams herself was covered in blood. After that, the story got a little bit more context. The man said that Williams attacked because he didn't bring home the beer. Williams was charged with domestic violence for stabbing her man in the shoulder and chest with a ceramic squirrel. Bamp. Harry Potter. I have the right voice for that now. I'm freaking in love with that murder weapon, I know. Is that a squirrel? No. Murder weapon. Mock Duck. Bad Santa. Gotta go to 7-Eleven and buy some beer. There is not one 7-Eleven near me. I think the closest 7-Eleven to me is like an hour away. Any 7-Elevens? I lost my voice, Harry. Harry, I lost my voice. Dobby needs a voice. Why is it the only time I could actually be cast in a movie is when I barely use my voice? Harry. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys have a good Christmas. Or a good relaxing day if you do not celebrate it. Happy Saturnalia. Happy Festivus. Happy Festivus, everyone. Merry Christmas. I don't even drink beer. Do you drink wine? Butterscotch schnapps. Stop it, Harry. Christmas tree. Hermione. I will see you next time. I hope you have a good day, Element. It's Happy Saturnalia. Ho, ho, ho. Bam. Hope you have a good... well, as soon as my voice is back, I'll stream. Again. Okay. Why? Do you think that's going to make it... Huh? I don't think it can get worse. I am straining just to get any voice out right now for you guys. So I'm going to say goodnight. And I hope you have a good holiday if you celebrate Christmas. Merry Christmas if you don't. I hope you have a good holiday. Good night, you guys. Bye. 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 I can't even do bye. Bye. Bye.